humor and lightness as a quality to, strengthen that empathy muscle.
Yes, I missed out on that one.
You had mentioned it offline. So I remember.
Okay. I rely very much on that.
Yeah.
So sales is a lot about discipline. You have to keep to a beat, keep to a routine, and then results don't happen
all the time. Yeah.
So when there's a lot of tension in the room, I kind of like clap my hands and say, look, abhi baith ke fir se plan banayenge. And I joke with my team. I say I look at myself as WIP. I am compulsive at setting goals,
yes,
making plans,
yeah,
simply because it's just too volatile and complex there. So it's not just the humor context, but it's a struggle. So I am reaching out and telling them,
right,
come here, don't be too tough on yourself.
Nice.
You think I'm very perfect? नहीं, आप तो उठ के एक्सरसाइज करते हैं, ये भी करते हैं, वो भी करते हैं. I've been doing yoga from the age of 16, I tell them.
Oh, wow.
And I can count an equal number of days and time periods when I didn't do any exercise. I went through practically 3 pregnancies. I told you I had a miscarriage. And crazy travel.
Yeah.
Almost 4 days on the road. So not that I did it every time. But there's nothing to stop me from setting a schedule and start doing it now.
Absolutely. And this is so real. Because, a lot of people, when they say I've been doing this exercise for X number of years, you just imagine them springing out of bed and doing that every single day. But when you say years, it's the consistency, but there have been misses. And I think that is a
large misses.
Real point to bring in.
So when I say empathy, with my teams, this is also an aspect I used to talk to them about. In mid-40s, people have blood pressure, sugar. I have, I'm diabetic. So again, these are good empathy conversations.
Right.
And I keep at it, Sometimes I joke with them. I used to do one of these walk with Leslie Sanson, one of those, 20 minutes walking schedule. And I used to keep, when I used to talk to my teams, that, I'm struggling with weight, morning walk ho nahi raha hai. And I would tell them, I do this even when I'm traveling, 10 minutes of walk with Leslie Sanson.
Nice.
Then one day, one of my colleagues, or I think 2 or 3 of them, I told them, look, I've been telling you all walk with Leslie Sanson, nice lady to walk with, you all don't want to do it. Please walk with Nick. And I sent them links. So these are things, I do.
So moving on to something which, you are part of boardrooms, right? Do you think the whole idea of being empathetic or vulnerable or showing a side that, I'm not able to do it today has been accepted into boardrooms, or does it get cancelled off as, too soft and doesn't understand business?
It's very difficult, Vidya, to give any sweeping statement there.
Okay.
But I can tell you one of the things we had started in our EXCO meetings.
Okay.
And that's when we had a new MD join us. We used to go round robin, just use 1 to 2 words to describe what was our feeling.
Oh, fantastic.
When we were starting the meeting.
Okay.
And
so feeling about the subject or just...
no, just I'm happy today. It's not that you were expected to launch out and say why I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm feeling more confident.
Right.
I am excited. And initially when this happened, people were repeating the same things, happy, good, okay. So our MD had a nice sense of humor. He told his executive assistant, then one meeting we suddenly come and we have a slide up there in the board with some 50 adjectives of how you
Please
can
widen your vocabulary.
So, that's moment of
That's
humor.
fantastic.
So we did do something like that. But coming back to the broader question, if we accept that there is some bit of a cultural background,
Yes.
and there's some bit of a personality dimension, you can't risk vulnerability all the time with 13 to 15 mature adults, all considering themselves experts in their field,
Right.
to be empathetic. Particularly in a board meeting when results are being discussed.
Right. Right.
So, vulnerability as a culture is building the empathy, but to demonstrate vulnerability, I would recommend more like a smaller group alignment.
Okay.
Rather than, because what happens is, you are in charge of marketing. And if your CFO is sitting there and you're saying that I have no idea what's happening, I don't think that'll go down very well.
Yeah, now that you play out that scenario, I'm visualizing it.
But-
Okay. You mentioned something about a McKinsey report.
Yes, thanks for reminding me on that one. McKinsey did quite a bit of work. In fact, they have a number of programs for CEO development.
Right.
And this particular report I'd come across was some 500 odd CEOs they had reached out to.
Is this in India or
no, this was European, if I remember rightly.
Okay.
I wouldn't be very rigid, it might be American, but the case example was very European. It was a Paris-based firm.
Right.
But before I get there, what they figured was people were very clear on acumen, operational expertise, financial acumen. They were also, CEOs had a good understanding of certain traits, communication, then versatility,
Right.
resilience. People struggled when it came to how to put out vulnerability there without being seen as not being sure.
Right.
The two are contradictory, many felt. And one, caselet over there really stuck in my mind. It was talking about a family-run, large manufacturing organization. So there was the CEO, and there was another member from the family. I don't know whether there were more from the family. Board constitution, I'm not very clear.
Right.
But there was this member from the family who had a tendency of throwing the spanner in the works.
Okay.
He would also, try to work around the CEO outside informally by mentioning, I don't think the idea is going to work. He comes up with all these kind of ideas and stuff like that. CEO knew this was happening. And he was not able to deal with it till one or two of his other colleagues reached out. And he said that I know what is happening. I know he's undermining my authority. But I have been brought up in a family in which you agreed that everything was okay. Family dinner table conversations were very politically correct. Anytime we went to mother, she was like, no, that's not really a problem. Let's look into it. We can sort it out very easily. So he had to be made conscious about a limiting, you may call it experience. Sometimes it's a limiting belief.
Right.
That stops you from doing certain things. And like I said, I learned a lot about leadership from my customer journey.
Yes.
And definitely having to deal with different people differently.
The conclusion of that report, the way I'm understanding it, is that your childhood influences that was also a very important context. And it's very hard to leave that out when you come to a work environment.
It's
because the way the family, in India, joint families, the grandparents have a big impact on the way we think and behave and are shaped.
It particularly mentioned parents and teachers also.
Teachers. Yes, that's an impact.
So the context of the article was to raise awareness because what came out in the research, interestingly, was CEOs wanted to learn how to use vulnerability.
Right.
They were logically all clear that if I can show my vulnerable side, then I will whip up the team support.
Right.
People will then rally around with me.
Yeah.
Many examples in the public space, the one of which all of us are familiar with is how Steve Jobs came back when he discovered he had pancreatic cancer, and that's probably very late, but that's when he decided to change his style, and not come from that high table and high horse and speak one-on-one. We have early examples. Satya Nadella in his book shares how he took the learnings from his parenting of a child with special needs into the Microsoft organization when he took charge. So people are recognizing the
Yes. And it's so interesting that you say that, because just last week when I was recording another episode and she was an HR vice president, she said that one of the tools they've been using in their organization is to help the older generation and the younger generation empathize with each other through examples of how would you treat your father in this situation? How do you try and understand your teenage daughter? And, through that, and then whatever patience, all of that, and then how do you apply that to work?
So it just supports, when you're doing all this, you build certain empathy muscles.
Absolutely.
Same as, when you build your body. So your family, the context of your friends, your work, it all builds you as an
individual. Yeah. You had mentioned this when we spoke about empathy, you had said it's also important to be empathetic to yourself. And why I personally would like you to just share a little bit more about it is because I've been working for now nearly 2 decades. And I find that personally very difficult, because I feel like the way I bring out the best in myself is being tough with myself. And that's what was applying to teams till I came across this new way of management, which is more empathy-led and not being tough. But if you could share about being empathetic to yourself.
Yeah, so there are 2 parts of it, One is what I was telling you, the manifestation. Oh, I am tough with myself, so you should understand when I'm tough with you. That's one part of it. And the other part is, to survive, I've got to be tough with myself. So really, you came in from the second space. I have to be tough, otherwise I will not be able to navigate. So in a way, Vidya, you learn as you go forward, and it's very difficult to put my finger at that point where I decided to be kind to myself. But definitely, as I was telling you, the first bit happened in my original equipment phase. I used to love the job. I used to love the customer interactions. We were not into this thing, video calls and all. I'm talking 96, 97.
Yeah,
you had to be there. Telephone conversations were never as satisfying. And I had this 2 young kids, this thing. So, my mother was a big support, particularly when my children were young. But I remember one incident. We were having some kind of a family celebration on a Sunday. And one auto major, really big company, they had taken some aspirational target, which they had not shared with us earlier in the year. Something visionary. And we were being badgered for batteries. I don't like to use the word. They didn't want to do it, But just that the line was repeatedly running dry. And I have my family sitting on a Sunday, and a mother who's been very patient, she's done many other things for me. And there's this call that comes in just before everybody was to assemble or something like that. And I was very irritated. And I must have snapped at her or somebody. My mother was like, don't give me that. Because unless you are kind to yourself, you're not going to be kind to the family. And if you think that family is something like a doormat, I can just fly off the handle. I remember that conversation with her, Vidya. So experiences like this, it's what people do to you, do with you. Both help you to change.
Fantastic. So, before we conclude, I wanted to do this fun thing called a rapid fire.
Okay.
And I just think, stories are great, but sometimes even quick answers help, especially to the ones with the short attention. So the first one is, when I say empathetic leaders, who comes to mind?
Very much Indira Nooyi.
Okay.
For two reasons. Because I told you, I do a lot of workshops, interactions with women. So I observe the things she has put out in the public space.
Right.
Struggles with her daughter, her interactions with her mother. I have a very similar story. How she used to write to PepsiCo, employees, taking the opportunity to thank their families for contributing in their journey. But having said that, Vidya, if I come from this space and if I manage to convince you slightly that there is a personality factor here,
yes.
The unfortunate thing is, unless a leader decides to come out and tell his story, nobody says that, he delivered results, stock market responded well to his leadership, and he was rated so and so as you never get to see that dimension of his leadership.
Very nice. So true. One myth about tough leadership that you'd like to see retired forever?
I don't want to see toughness as a personality trait. But I am comfortable on toughness being a tactical leadership skill.
Nice.
Many times this confusion comes. If I am not tough, I'll be seen as soft. It doesn't happen that way. I am empathetic, but cannot walk over me. So toughness is required. Situationally, it's required. You can't say I'm just going to leave it outside the door.
Yeah.
Empathetic. We are all empathetic with our children.
Right.
But aren't we tough for them too?
Yeah.
So toughness should be, tool more than a trait.
Nice. I really like that. In fact, I think sometimes when you're empathetic, when you're an empathetic leader, sometimes you need to be tough. So it's part of being empathetic. So what is the hardest habit you had to unlearn to be relevant in this work environment? Today's work environment.
I don't need to know the answer to all the questions.
Wow.
And not just the work environment. Of course, we went through a lot like COVID and all. And then I went through a huge company transition.
Right.
I spoke to you about my customers, and I actually spoke to you. It's a functions, being called to head IT, being called to head ESG.
ESG, yes.
I have
innovation.
Innovation. I have had to learn. And largely, I have come in as a leader. So I have had to be open to learning from my teams.
Yeah.
So that's been...
That's a really good one. I think everyone was going to learn from that. What's the misconception that people have about empathy at work?
That empathy is something like, it slows you down. सबको लेके चलना है, ये project delivery नहीं होगा. No, they see it as something like a speed bump.
Yeah.
And then you say, hey, there's a speed bump coming. I'm going to rev up and drive over it. And in that process, you face many more bumps. So maybe try looking at it as something like a GPS rather than a speed bump. So you take stock of the team you're going to work with. Have the empathy that people are going to come from different spaces.
Right.
People are going to have different conflicting priorities.
Right.
So if you take that moment to take a GPS kind of view on the team, rather than look at this as a time waste and then speed bump.
Yeah. That empathy is going to slow you down.
Yes, that's the myth. Like that. Whereas you do invariably face problems and then you are in a crisis situation because you've not given due attention to the importance of empathy.
Yeah.
The typical crisis and importance, urgency matrix, importance matrix.
This is my last one, but important. If you had to whisper to the younger you a leadership tip, what would that be as a first-time leader?
You don't have to speak in every room and at every table. And here, this was a difficult one for me to share, and I actually share this when I go for these kind of conversations. I developed a habit when the subject was not totally relevant to my area, I would slowly push the chair back from the main table, cross my fingers and take a relaxed posture. नहीं, इस मीटिंग को छोड़ देते हैं. I don't need to show them how smart I am.
Nice. That is a really, really good
that was one I had to learn.
Does that anything have anything to do with being Bengali?
Yes, a bit of it has to,
Yeah.
So, if you bring in the lighter note, I related with Piku very much. That's a quintessential Bengali father and daughter relationship.
Yeah.
And just a quick one. I consider my father my first mentor.
Oh, nice.
He was in sales. At the age of 12, I saw him struggle making some sales charts. So I told him, why don't you concentrate? You write it out and I will make out the charts for you. So I did very neat charts and he went the next day. And obviously his colleagues pulled his leg. Everything's written so neatly. Every line is straight. Barinda, what happened? He came back that day and I'm talking in the 70s. He came back with one of those, 12 sketch pen set. And he also picked up those alphabet stencils, which in those days used to be used for nameplates.
Yes.
So he went there, he picked up this thing.
Pencils.
And after that, I was his official chart mate.
Oh, wow. That is such a nice story.
So yes, very much I learnt in the family. He pushed me through public speaking, business writing, while I was in my college years.
Wow, that must have really shaped
Business,
you.
Anything Indo-American did which could skill me up a little, summer holiday, please go there.
Nice. Well, it took you a really long way. The other question, I keep saying last question, but I now that I have you here, I'm just going to make the most of it, is you mentored a lot of women, right? And this is a pertinent question. Do you think it's still a very tough battle for women in the corporate world?
Vidya, I'm sure you've also seen this. Today, where you and I are in our careers, we have met an equal number of successful women.
Yes, I have to say.
So, my little favorite story from Alice in Wonderland is when she asked Cheshire Cat which road to take. And the cat said, that depends on where you want to get to.
Wow.
And Alice said, doesn't matter because she had by accident fallen into the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So Cheshire Cat said, in that case, doesn't matter which road you take.
How beautiful.
Oh, so I keep telling ladies, kind on yourself,
Mm.
but be sure on what you want to do.
Mm.
When you're sure on that, this is not about women managers. I'm hoping you will do something like this at a later day. But yes, I share a lot of almost toolkit kind of approach
Right.
on what are the things you can do.
Mm.
So it's far less of a struggle. Okay, I'll put it differently and we'll end on this note.
Yes.
So I tell ladies today, when I started my career, I used to be the only lady in the room.
Right.
And then as these Women's Day and gender diversity became an agenda, I started doing a lot of this on 8th of March.
Mm.
And I used to tell them that it's going to become very much tougher for you because you will have to even compete with other women to be heard at the table.
Wow. That's a different perspective.
At least today, she's speaking. Okay, let's give her a turn.
Yeah. So there were advantages of being the only woman in the room.
Some places it
Yes.
did.
Yes.
Obviously, I had a huge advantage with the dealers.
Yes.
They initially thought that, sales girl aa rahi hai.
Huh.
When they figured that I was the boss of the show,
Mm.
the behavior changed. And actually, if you look at dealers, many of these dealerships are family-run operations.
Right.
So when I went on visits, certain markets, it's a norm. The shop is downstairs,
And the home is
family
up-
stays
yes, I've seen
upstairs
that,
or
yes.
behind. And the family would come out to meet me.
Yeah, that would being a lady.
बिटिया's career,
हाँ.
बेटे ने IIT में entrance लिया,
हाँ.
पाउचू मैडम का.
हाँ.
It used to be a big kind of. It was more than just discussing cement with them.
Hmm.
Huge empathy you get there.
Great. So thank you so much. I have learned a lot, and I'm sure our viewers also feel the same. Thank you very much, Madhumita. You've been very kind with your time and sharing your knowledge.
Thank you, Vidya. It's been very enjoyable, and I have revisited many of these experiences sitting with you
Yes.
here today. Thank you.
Thank you.